Minister, many thanks for your time this evening. Should we see the SANDF join the police force, and I mean the SAPS, when would this be, and how many of the SANDF army officials are we expected to have on our streets?
Yes, good evening, Rafika. That is on the cards. I spoke to the minister this morning of SANDF, but the police generals that are dealing with operations, that would be Deputy National Commissioner Masimula and the acting Commissioner Mfazi, have touched base with the operation commanders of the SANDF. Yes, it won't be en masse as before, where soldiers were all out of the barracks. It will be on request this time. After the briefing today, we met with the generals of the police, and they are working on their figures that will be all consolidated tomorrow. Which areas exactly where we need the assistance of the police? There are areas like the beaches, though it looks like people they are complying when it comes to that, but there are areas where people are really not respecting the law. As you see, I think it's on social media what happened in Mamelodi and Alexandra yesterday night. I'm glad that both owners are arrested. But police will be really much unkind to the people that flout the law and deliberately don't respect the law.
Right, and during the previous hard lockdown, Minister, the Army got criticised heavily for the manner in which they treated people who were flouting lockdown regulations. In your engagement with other stakeholders, is this an important element of that conversation to ensure that they are dealing with people correctly, even though they are breaking the law?
I just wish that both police, soldiers and all other law enforcers would not be given the extra job by the South Africans like as they did yesterday. Those parties you saw in Alex and Mamelodi happened during the president as was speaking. I just wish they would not do that. But indeed, from the side of the police, people raise the question of brutality. Indeed, that's not part of policing brutality. But enforcement is a part of policing as we are instructed by the Constitution that our job is to enforce the law. At this juncture, soldiers, they work under the instruction and under the command of the police. They only work under their own command if there is a state of emergency. So this is not the state of emergency. Maybe there would be things, one or two there. For instance, I know that infamous issue of Alex with Khoza, they were alone there. So we need to keep the command to say all the time soldiers support the police rather than having their own operation alone. So those are part of the command, those are part of discussions, those are part of the things we believe we'll be able to do better this time, having learned our lessons.
And I guess also one of the things you're looking to do better this time around, Minister, is the illegal selling of alcohol and the distribution that's happened in the past. I'm sure this is going to be one of the key points that you're going to be looking at. Because of the failures we've seen in the past, not everyone getting caught.
Well, there would be things maybe that were not tied enough before. As you see the regulation this time, no sale, no on sale, no off sale, but no transportation of alcohol, no distribution of alcohol. There is not even the wine tasting that has been there. That makes life easy for the law enforcers to intercept the law as it moves from point A to point B. We will be wiser this time, and we are asking the law itself, the prosecution, the magistrates, to be tougher to those people that flout those laws. It's not just breaking the rule, but it's also the economic sabotage, because you are making a profit where you're not supposed to, the profit that you are not going to pay taxes on it, that will only serve you. So that is an economic sabotage. So you have to be punished as such. Wiser, yes, and the regulations are much tighter this time. They give the law enforcers a better way of dealing with that situation.
Yeah, a lot of work for you to do this time around, Minister. But how are you going to create the balance of dealing with all the crimes related to breaking lockdown regulations and the daily crimes that we're faced with as South Africans every day, house robberies, rapes, hijackings and the like? Surely that's just going to put extra strain on your resources as a department.
Indeed, we planned long before we knew that there would be this upsurge of the virus again. Hence, we launched in October in Kutachishaba our Operation Tight Grip, and we planned around that. And we have not forgotten by any way that our fundamental and our primary task is to fight crime and protect South Africans against that crime. We're talking about serious crime, fear crime, GBV, protecting women and all that. So we do have that concern, especially there are two provinces that have been giving us a little bit of a problem on murders. That is your KZN, as it happened in Newcastle, and it happened in Maritzburg, and the Eastern Cape, as it happened in Mount Elif. We are following that. So it's a combination of two, having not forgotten what is our primary work, but also this is our primary work because we are instructed to prevent and protect. And to protect the rest of South Africans, we'll have to really deal with those people that are flouting the law, that the impact in the well-being of the rest of South Africans when they fall sick and die.
One final question for you, Minister. Everybody is wondering about this mask situation and how you could get arrested or be liable to pay a fine when you're out in public without it or you're not wearing it correctly. Please just clarify those details for us.
Well, again, I wish that question would not rise of dealing with the mask, but the question is there. What has been happening before? You would move around, one has been moving around quite vigorously around the country, including today. I'm just back home. I'm from King Kejwayo. We know that King Kejwayo is one area that was mentioned yesterday. That is your Mbangeni, that is your Richards Bay, Skawini. We were there. What I've discovered today, for whatever reason, there was almost 100% compliance. Whether that is what President said in the President's appeal yesterday, or people they are scared of the law enforcement, is working. But when it comes to this mask, let me assure you, since I've been moving around, only one person said didn't have the mask. Fortunately, we had an extra. We gave that person the extra mask to say was a homeless person. But everybody does have the mask. They put them in the pockets, they put them in their handbags, they put them in their cars and all that. What we would do is to remind you to put on your mask. And I remember one young girl that asked me at Shaka Marine, what are you going to do, Babutele, if I don't do it? And indeed, nothing I could. But this time, we arrest you, we put you on the system, we take you to the magistrate to get charged. You can be in prison between 1 month to 6 months. Also, the police have the right to give what they call J534, which is a spot fine from the police, but also that creates the record. So what makes life easy now is that we're not only reminding you, but if you insist not to obey, we have a right to arrest you now. We wish we would not, but if it needs be, we will.
Police Minister Bheki Cele highlighting that you could get a criminal record from refusing to wear your mask out in public. Thank you very much for those insights, Minister.